Hi, second grade. Hope you had fun making your paper airplanes, and I'm hoping that you learned a lot from doing that activity about what made your planes fly easier or farther. Maybe you figured out that certain types of paper weigh different amounts, and so that might change how your airplane flew. Maybe one plane was smaller or bigger than the other one, and that made a difference. I'd be interested in finding out what you learned from doing your two different airplanes and comparing them. So, as we're thinking about how the planes flew and what helped or didn't help them fly, we're going to switch to thinking about bats. So every year in Omaha, the Nebraska Wildlife Rehab Center does a bat release. So all of the bats that they find that are injured or are out in the cold, they will gather them up through the winter and take care of them in their center. And then when the weather gets nice and they know that it's going to stay warmer and there's going to be bugs and things for them to eat, they let them go. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a video of how they do this. I'm not going to play the sound for the video. I'm just going to talk about a couple things as we watch. There's several types of bats that we have in Omaha, but these are all brown bats. And they are pretty common in Omaha. So they're going to get up real close so we can see them, and I want you to pay attention to their wings and see what you observe on their wings as we look at them. You can't see the wings very much on this side, but they will go around so where you can see them. But you notice there's a whole bunch of them that are cozied up together to stay warm. These are all females, they're all girls. When they keep them at the center, they keep the girls and the boys in separate cages because they said that the boys like to pick on the girls, and so it's just easier and better for them if they keep the boys in one cage and the girls in the other. But they are going to be taking them out of the cage and just letting them fly free. And it's pretty fun to watch. Usually this is done down at the Joslyn Art Museum here in Omaha, but since they're asking everyone to stay at home right now, they are just doing it at a different location so that they can get the bats back into their natural environment. It is good for animals to be free so that they can take care of themselves. But it's nice that there's organizations like this that will help out the animals to keep them safe, keep them healthy. They also work with raccoons and possums and other animals that you might see sometimes around Omaha if they become injured or just need some extra care. So if you just watch, you can see them flying off. And we're just going to watch this for just a little bit here. But I want you to think about what a bat looks like and what their bodies look like and then what their wings look like. And why do you think that they are able to fly so well? What is it about their wings that help them to fly? We'll let this go for just a little bit longer. All right, so if you want to see more of that, you can go to the Nebraska Wildlife Rehab page on Facebook, and they can, and then they have their whole video up there so that you can see it. Let me get that paused, switch back to our PowerPoint. So here's a really good picture. You can see their wings. I want you just to make some observations of that. If you want to pause the video so you can get a look at that a little bit more, go ahead and do that. And then in your science notebooks, write about what you observe about how bats fly, especially when we're thinking about how they fly and how our paper airplanes flew. What do you think is important in making sure that they can fly, and how well they're able to fly? So again, in your notebook, I noticed, tell me at least 2 things that you noticed, and then come up with an I wonder. What would you want to know more about, either after watching that video or about how things fly? And then I'm gonna have you do a little bit more creating things and thinking about our solids and how they're used for building and why certain things are used to do things that we need them to do out in our city. I will be talking to you guys with more lessons next week. See you all later.